Welcome back to another episode of MotoGP Mac, and today we're going to talk about the race that just happened in Misano. Now, before we get into it, here is how it finished. Enea Bastianini won it from Jorge Martin, Marc Marquez, Marco Bezzecchi, Franco Morbidelli, Maverick Vinales, Fabio Quartararo, Aleix Espargaro, Alex Marquez, Miguel Oliveira, Joan Mir, Luca Marini, Raul Fernandez, Fabio Di Gianantonio, Johan Zarco, Jack Miller, Taka Nakagami, Augusto Fernandez. Brad Binder was the last one across the line. Peco Bagnaia and Pedro Acosta crashed out and did not restart the race. Now, I have to say, that was a pretty fucking epic race. Peco got off to a good start. Although Martin did beat him to the first corner, Peco was flying for the first couple of laps. Seemed as though there was an issue with either the front or rear tyre of Peco's bike, but his pace slowed down drastically. Was it graining? We don't know, but he was like 3-4 seconds behind Bastianini and Martin. But realistically, today's race was all about two riders, and that was Enea Bastianini and Jorge Martin, who were absolutely clung together like a flight to shit. It was absolutely unbelievable. Bastianini closed down the gap that was to Jorge Martin leading, and stuck with him. Didn't get his tyres over pressured, let's just say, and was able to hang very close behind him. But coming into the last lap, I think it was turn 4, there was a pass made. Was it aggressive? It was aggressive. Was it fair? I think it was. It's the last lap of a race. It's very easy to say, maybe, Joe, that it was too aggressive. However, I don't think Jorge can complain too much. A couple of laps earlier, he wiped the nose of Bastianini in a braking spot, and I don't think that was right either. So, he can't be too sour grapes. Of course, he wanted to win. It was the last lap, but it was absolutely epic between the two of them. Obviously, they did clash. I think it will be investigated by the stewards, and for the main reason, I think more so not because of the aggressive pass, but technically, they both went off the track because of the maneuver. So I think therefore the stewards could favour to give Bastianini a penalty and move him back behind Jorge Martin. Don't know, but I think that's what's going to happen. Marc Marquez, good enough race. People falling off the track in front of him did help him to get up to a podium. We will be fair and straight on that. Marco Bezzecchi, similar to Mark, very quiet race. No one really putting him under pressure. Franco Morbidelli, thought he would be up a little bit higher, if I'm honest. Maverick Vinales, good solid race from him. Another really good race from Fabio Quartararo, putting that Yamaha where that Yamaha shouldn't be. Aleix Espargaro, solid enough race as well. Alex Marquez, would have been in around the top 11 if it wasn't for the two going out in front of him. So it was okay, but again, he's on a good bike. He should be up a little bit further. Really good race for Joan Mir, first Honda home. And he's had a pretty shit couple of weeks, so it's good to see him coming back as top Honda. Closely followed home by Luca Marini, to be fair. Raul Fernandez struggled this weekend in total, which I find strange because, he's had a lot of time. They've had like 6 days here now in Misano, but Fabio Di Gianantonio, okay race, realistically, he is battered and bruised still from that crash, so wasn't expecting too much out of him today and this weekend after seeing it on Friday. Johan Zarco, not a bad race. Jack Miller got an amazing start, was up to 12th, but fell back through the grid. Taka Nakagami, again, look, rider has no motivation, the same as Augusto Fernandez, to be fair. And Brad Binder did crash, remounted, hence that he's so far behind. But it is strange, those like crashes of Binder and Acosta really are down to the bike, and they're trying to get the most out of the bike. Peco Bagnaia. It was very weird, his situation. He started strong. Something seemed to go off. I don't know, did he get some graining on the tires or something happened like that? But the bike, when he was trying to turn it in, the rear end was trying to come around on it, and it was bucking and kicking at the back. But it also looked like, especially in the corners where he's really, really strong, he didn't have the feeling to turn it in. So I just don't know, is the front or rear tire was the actual problem. A couple of laps then before his crash, he started turning up the wick. It's very easy to say that he was going to crash at that stage, because he probably was, but he was down into the low, or into the 30s, and a crash was inevitable really at that stage. He closed the gap to Martin and Bastianini. I think he took like 1.3 or 1.8 seconds off of them, and then he crashed. At that stage, Bastianini was behind Martin, so Bastianini getting past Martin is helping Peco, because it reduced the amount of points that the gap would have been. Pedro Costa, again, similar sort of situation, did lose the front of the bike and crashed out, and that was the end of it. All in all, this is probably one of the best races that I've seen in a long time. Misano has definitely given us a good race this time. Crowd was quite low, but you would expect that for 2 races in a row. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. What did you think of the Bastianini Martin move? Who was your rider of the day? And what did you think of the race overall? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.